G'day, I'm Appy Dave, and this is part two in planning 6 different live streams for creation later in the week. And what we're doing is working through the workflows that I go through. And what we will do is we'll just bring up a screen and just check that the live stream is running. I run these on my own, which is a bit of a challenge, and it is running. So let's recap where we're at. So the goal of this particular live stream, and this is part two, we stopped it because I was having some computer issues, is planning. How do we plan a live stream, and why do we do it? And what I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why this is so important to me and why it might be important to you. So in the last session, we just worked on the 555 Manifesto and Project Theodore. I will go into what they are in a moment. And essentially, even though the live stream went for an hour and 10 minutes, the actual planning session of this, when done quickly, is about 10 to 15 minutes. And that's my reasoning for having a planner and doing live streams. Because when I do a regular video on my channel, about 3 months ago, it used to take me 3 weeks to get one video out. I'm now down to maybe 1 or 2 a week on my main channel. But the thing about a live stream is that I can theoretically do 6 of them next week. They don't need to be more than about 40 minutes each in length. And the planning phase only needs to be about 10 to 15 minutes. So my ability to get content out using live streams and automation, which we're looking into, is my main rationale behind it. So before we move on, let's have a look quickly. We'll just bring up a GPT view, which is actually bringing up a web view. If you've missed the last session, this is what it was. It just went out about an hour ago. It's AI powered live stream planning, 6 streams in this session. Might change that title soon. And in fact, is that a time to talk about agents? So let's talk about agents. We are about to go and look at Project Theodore as a recap, but the fact that I mentioned that in the live stream is what Project Theodore is about. Can it be looking at those words and automatically change the title in that particular video for me as an offline task? So before I go into that, let's talk about 555 Manifesto, which we talked about in the last session, because what that is the idea of, can you create 555 videos across 5 different channels in about 55 weeks? Now, my main channel, Appy Dave, is currently releasing about 2 videos a week. If we move on to Appy Dave Research, the goal here, because it's such an easier process to do a live stream, is to do 2, 3, maybe 4 videos a week here as well. Now, if we move on to AI TLDR, so AI TLDR is a faceless YouTube channel. It stands for Artificial Intelligence. Too long, didn't read it. And it's basically short videos on using AI tools. And this channel currently releases about 3 to 4 videos a week. That's 2 long form, 2 short form. Then we move on to the next channel in the pipeline, Winning Prompts. This one's just started. This probably has a similar sort of goal, but it will be a different style of video that we're creating there. And then lastly, there's Cozy Cafe, which has not started. So if we look at it, we see that it's an empty channel. But the goal for me is still to get to that idea of 550 videos across 5 channels in 55 weeks. And where we've started with the Cozy Cafe is that I recently, a couple of days ago, produced a long form video for the Appy Dave channel and already gone through the process of generating a bunch of podcasts episodes on the AI TLDR channel, where we're testing ideas, and soon we'll start seeing it in the next area. Now, that then brings us into Project Theodore, which is based off the movie Her. So the goal of Project Theodore, if we look here, and we talked about this in the last video, is agents that automate your life in the middle of live streaming. or in the middle of just any sort of work that you're doing. Because what we should be able to do with agents is, if I give a command, like we just talked about the title being out of whack, but I will talk about, say, the playlist. So this video that we're watching right now, and it's this one, well, sorry, that's the last one, and we got the one that we're in right now, should be part of a playlist. What should that playlist be? Maybe it's AI powered live streaming. Maybe that's what we're talking about. Or maybe it's the agent workflow builder live stream planning, which is a standard operating procedure, an SOP, using GPTs. Now, how many videos do I want in this particular playlist? Well, I probably want the one you're watching now. I probably want the last one that we watched, and we probably want the 6 that are going to come out in the next 1 or 2 weeks, whenever they happen to come out, because they were mentioned in this video, so it'd be good to be in the playlist. Now, the fact that I'm saying this means that the agent delegator, or the project manager should be able to figure out that I'm talking about playlists, and whether or not it might be useful for a playlist to be generated with the ideas that we're talking about. And this is where an agent can kick in, called the playlist agent. Now, we already saw in when we were talking about Project Theodore, and I'll just minimize this for a second, that and I might also just bring up her so that you know that it's really just based around this idea of a movie where this was going on all the time. The idea that if I ask it to do research for me, it should be able to just do that automatically. It should be able to summarize the content and display it on the screen for me in the middle of the live stream. That I talked about how that can be done. It should be able to create YouTube shorts, and it should be able to do podcast creation, because I'm currently producing podcasts directly off these live streams in a very automated fashion. So these are the sorts of things that I want to do here. But we are now moving on to, and I guess that's the segue. We've talked about what we did in the last session. Let's move into this part of the session where we're going to create live streams, or we're going to do the planning for 4 different live streams. So the first one we're going to look at is called Dent Grab Attention in 30 Seconds. Now let's figure out where this is from. And it's from this guy. Okay. Daniel Priestley, so an Australian guy. He's very successful business builder, and he talks about the key person of influence. And I was watching, I've just been absorbing a whole lot of his information over the last week or two. A mate of mine pointed me towards a podcast done recently that had him, and I've heard him before, but I got inspired by the content. And I watched this video and thought, hang on, this is simple. What he's talking about is simple. It's about creating elevator pitches. And I need an elevator pitch for Appy Dave. I need one for winning prompts. I need one for the concepts that we're talking about here, whether it be the 555 manifesto or Project Theodore. So I need them for YouTube channels. I need them for the brand. I need them for pillar content. And here he is, talking about, in how long is this video? I can't even see, 7 minutes. He talks about all the ideas that you need to actually do this. Now, when someone talks about ideas like this, what you can actually do is turn their ideas into a workflow. And that's exactly what I like to do in the Agent Workflow Builder. And what we will do is we will plan the live stream where I'll actually do this. At the moment, we're only doing the planning, but essentially the goal of that live stream would be to take his 7 minutes of content, reverse engineer what he's saying you should do. It's not even reverse engineering, because I mean, he is teaching it. He tells you exactly what to do, but converting it into a workflow. And that's what I'd love to do in a live stream, because as I said, there's a bunch of elevator pitches that I need to create, and they all just follow a simple formula. So let's get into it with this one directly. And what I'm going to have to do is figure out the folders on my computer for a second and work out that we are working with Grab Attention in 30 Seconds is A17, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give a project code. So what is this? And I think that the initial purpose of the live stream when I do it will be help people develop elevator pitch for their, how do you spell it, something like that, brand, business, pillar idea, pillar content, maybe something like that. That'll be the initial purpose, and it is based off a formula, for want of a better word, put forth by Dent. We'll just call it Dent because I know that the internet seems to know who he is, but we could also say Daniel Priestley. So we got that in there. And who's the initial audience? So I would assume that the initial audience is business owners, business builders. So we'll say business builder, owner, something like that, small business owner. We'll say brands. And I'm going to say personal brands. I don't know whether you'd use this for bigger brands. Maybe you would, but we'll keep it at that. And I might also put in YouTube creator because that's what I am. I guess it would work for all the social media people. So then what we're going to do is we are going to go to an existing conversation that I started, and it is right here. And you can see that all I've done is said read, and I've said the project code and the name of what we're talking about, Dent Grab Attention. And the really interesting thing was ChatGPT actually pulled out all the relevant information incredibly quickly. And I thought about how did it do that? Because all I gave it was this folder name. And I think there's enough information in there for it to go, well, I better go search the internet and figure out what Dent means, grab attention in 30 seconds. And it actually came up with all of this information. But for this, we're actually going to get the raw information that he said in the video as well. So we've started here, and I've just already pressed the copy button on our workflow, and I'm just going to paste it in. No, I'm not. I'm going to step back one level, as I said, and actually grab the transcript first, because I think I want richer information as my starting point. And that's one of the things about workflows, is it's all great to have a workflow and it's a step-by-step, but if you've got other information and it's not part of your standard workflow, then you either have to just mix it in when you can, which is what we're doing right now. We're mixing it in when we can, or you update your workflow to have support for it. And that's the thing about standard operating procedures. They are not set in stone. They change over time, and you can either change them on the fly, we're doing that now, or you can update them, and I might do that later. So let's go over to the YouTube transcript extractor. It was just something I Googled, and I liked this particular one mainly because it didn't give me the time codes. I didn't need the time codes. I only actually want the text. I'm pressing copy on that. And we will come over to here and we'll undo what I was about to put in here, and I'll say just read. And I might actually say read and just absorb. I don't want it to actually come back with any information, and it hasn't. So this is good. So I think we can close down that window now. We don't need it anymore. We've got our starting point for our video planning around A17. And we're just going to paste it in. And now we've got this video purpose. So let's move to the next step. Now I can go deep into what this is saying, but I did that in the previous video. So if you want to find out more, you can watch that. But we'll just copy this particular information and we'll put it into the video purpose. And we've got target audiences of entrepreneurs, personal brands, YouTube creators, freelancers, solopreneurs. I really resonate with that term. It's something that people like Dan Coe talk about all the time. Startup founders and innovators, and aspiring public speakers and thought leaders. So the guy we're following, Daniel Priestley, he's very much talking about thought leaders as well, and personal brands. So we'll just press copy on that. and we'll put that into the target audience, and we will press copy here, and we'll come back down and we'll start the new section. And what we're trying to get here, I believe, is the video goal and the video concept. So that's in the middle of being written, and I will copy that. We can read a little bit of it, but not too much, because as I said, we've already talked about how this all works, and we might get more information once we get to the end anyway. But it's enable entrepreneurs to craft compelling and concise 30-second elevator pitches. Now, one of the reasons why I preloaded all this information that it found on the internet, so that was the GPT search, and the information I found from the transcript of the actual video we're talking about, is because now I have history, contextual history that can be applied to anything that we're doing further down. So these answers are not just based on what I said, but they're also based on all that previous information. So we've got the video concept, and I think I'm just going to move to talking points. So the talking points are the adaptation of the idea. So we've got a video concept here that says, let's go in close and personal for a sec. I'll say the video will be a dynamic, engaging tutorial that walks viewers through the 5-step elevator pitch formula with real-world examples and interactive prompts. It will begin with a high-energy hook showcasing the power of a well-crafted pitch. Okay, so this is a really good video concept, but this isn't actually what I'm going to talk about, I think. So let's just come back to the beginning. This video will be a dynamic, engaging tutorial that walks viewers through a 5-step elevator pitch. No. The talking points is, I will reverse engineer Dent elevator pitch, right, to a workflow that can be a SOP using GPT. That's what I'm going to do. What else will I do? I will also demonstrate how to turn it into a web application so that anyone can do this task that he's educating, can do the task themselves. So making a tool and demonstrating the tool. That's really what we're talking about. So this current video concept is great, but this video concept isn't what I plan to do in the live stream. These are my talking points. So what I'll do is I'll copy that and I'll paste it in here. And what this will do is make them more readable. And I have to move around from time to time. Okay. So reverse engineering the Dent elevator pitch into a step-by-step SOP using GPT. No, that should say, I'll change it manually. That should say powered by GPTs. Transforming the SOP into a web application for easy self-service. That's true. Developing a practical tool and demonstrate. Yep, that's true. So we'll just copy all of this. We'll paste it all in. We'll just go back to here and say powered by that. We could almost say agents as well, but because ultimately what we're creating here is an agent. But we'll leave it at that. We'll press copy, and what this should do, actually, we move on to the goal review, and sorry, you guys didn't see what I was doing. We'll move on to the, I'll just show you. I went in here and I just modified this to say powered by. And we come back to the goal review, we press copy, and we paste it in. And what this should do is work out that the initial goal and purpose and all that did not match the talking points. So let's say the existing goal and concept emphasized teaching entrepreneurs how to craft compelling elevator pitches using Dent method. Now that's what his video does. My video's something else. However, the talking points suggest a workflow-driven technology-enabled approach, specifically reverse engineering, building, and demonstrating a practical tool. Okay, since the core, hopefully now the video goal and the video concept are now in alignment with what I want to say. So we can demonstrate, we can just copy that for now. And again, what am I doing, guys? Really sorry, I'm not putting the right screens in place in this live stream. Demonstrate how to transform Daniel Priestley's Dent elevator pitch framework into an automated step-by-step workflow using ChatGPT. By the end of the video, viewers will understand how to generate structured, compelling 30-second pitches through the interactive tool, making the process repeatable and scalable for entrepreneurs, content creators, and personal brands. We're going to press copy on that. And I'm just going to check where we're putting that. Yep, we're just coming here and pasting it in here. And the concept, the video will be a hands-on tech-driven walkthrough of how to convert the Brent elevator pitch formula into an automated workflow using GPT. It will begin with a brief explanation of the framework, followed by an in-depth look at how it can be structured as an SOP. Viewers will then see how this SOP is turned into a user-friendly web application that allows them to generate their own pitch automatically. The video will include a live demonstration of the tool in action. Okay, cool. This is about what I want to talk about. So we come to that. That's a video concept. We update it. And lastly, we just need a project name. So I know it's A17. My current one that I'd had was Dent Grab Attention in 30 seconds. But let's see what it comes up for us, because usually I wouldn't have a project name. Dent Pitch Automation. Yeah, that's, funnily enough, that's probably a better name for a project than I currently have. The others, Dent Pitch Tool. That's also pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is just paste this in here. And now I've let this conversation know the focus from a project name point of view. That's also, I find, relevant. And this is it. We're done, right? I don't know how long this has taken us, but the thing about planning a project, and then the next step, of course, would be the script development, is that it should be really quick. I don't even need to write a script because I've actually got enough information if I just want to run off my own thinking. If I know the topic well enough, I don't actually need a script, but I could do a script. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this in. I'm going to make sure that it's the Dent Pitch Automation. And lastly, I'm just going to save this to the clipboard, and you won't be able to see this, but that's okay. What are we working on? Number 17. I'm just making sure I've got a backup of all the information because this is an application in development at the moment. Okay, with that done, we can move on to the next step. So what was the next step? The next step, so this one is done, and we should be able to press a little tick and move on to Dent Score App. So what is Score App? Come over here. We've got create a lead generation course that generates $20 million in sales. So I think this is the video I want to work on. I don't know what else he has. I know he has another one specifically, but this one will do. I'm going to go and copy his URL. So essentially, he has a software as a service called Score App. I haven't seen it. I want to do a walkthrough of it. I want to figure out whether it's any good for me. And this is what I love to do on the Appy Dave research channel, is that I love to test out the applications. I like to take people on a behind the scenes journey as I do it. And that allows me to give a realistic opinion. Because as a software developer, there's this idea we have called, you haven't really used a system you haven't built an application, you haven't learnt a programming language, you haven't used a SaaS thing until you use it in anger. And the term to use something in anger means to use it in a real world scenario and then go shit because it's crap, right? Or you get frustrated. So I haven't looked at his system. I don't know anything about it. The marketing is first rate and it sounds awesome, but this is what I want to do a live stream on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say that we're moving on to this. We haven't finished it yet, so we'll put it there. We will actually, I need to go and find that YouTube tool I use. So let's type in YouTube transcript extractor, and it was only one of them that was actually good for me. So we'll just open a few of them, and that's the one. So we'll just paste his link in. We'll get the transcript. While that's doing its thing, we'll close the others that I don't really like. What if I could show you a blueprint that's been working for over 4,000 business models? So that's what he says at the beginning of the video. So we're going to go and copy that particular information, and we are going to go back to ChatGPT, and we are currently in the Agent Workflow Builder live stream planner project within ChatGPT. And we are now looking for Dent Score Up. Now, actually, there was another video, how to create, this might even be a better one for me to use. So let's open up, how do we open this? Can we do that? Here's his video.
Most people have.
I'm getting an advert, which I really don't want. We'll go and click on the transcript. We'll go back. And we'll paste it in, because this actually came up, and this might be a better transcript to work with. We'll get a copy of that. Come back to here and paste it in. So I'm just going to say read and absorb. Paste it all in. That doesn't look right. Why not? Oh, it's because for some reason I just selected a particular area. Can we? Oh, no, it's all there. It's all there. Don't mind me. We'll press copy. Now, if I was doing this for not in a live stream, I would be a little bit more thorough. That's for sure. Right? And I might watch both videos and go, no, this is the one I want, this is the one I want. Or I might combine them both together, because quite frankly, they're probably tackling the same problem from different angles anyway. But here we have all the information we need to get started. So we'll come over to our live planner, and what we're going to do is we're going to refresh it, and we're only working in the standard operating procedure, the SOP, for live stream planning. I have others for script development, and there's ones in development by myself. I'll just talk about them quickly while we're here. Launch optimization. What is the title, the thumbnail, the text on the thumbnail, the description, the keywords? That's what launch optimization is when you're dealing with a live stream. What is launch amplification? What is the LinkedIn article? What is the email that you send out to subscribers? That's what launch amplification is. And repurposing content. What is the podcast that you want generated from this? What is the short form video or the YouTube short? That's what repurposed content is. They're not areas that I've done any development in yet. We're only this far is relatively complete, and this has a fair bit of focus on it as well. So as I develop more of this particular workflow, I'll be sharing it in the live streams. But we're just going to go down to the live stream planning. We're in the video idea. We've got a project code. It's A17. I think. No, it's A15. We're on the Score app. It's A15. We got an initial purpose, and I'm just wondering, did I accidentally just delete this before? I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Who knows? What I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a purpose directly off this particular information. So how am I going to do that? Okay, this is the Score app application. I need to create a video purpose based on the information that is above. I need the video purpose to be about 20 words long. By the way, guys, I'm tired. I'm tired. My brain's not thinking too clearly at that's why if there seems a bit of disjointedness in this, that's why. So the Score App application, I needed to create a video purpose based on the information that is above. I need the purpose to be about 20 words long. Okay. And what else do I want to say? When I do this, I haven't even thought about what the plan is for this video. So I'm going to use it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use it. The goal of the video will be me testing this application for real. I'm going to test 2 or 3 of the use cases that he talks about in the video. Let's just get a short testing real time by creating and using a scorecard for different industries to evaluate the effectiveness in, let's take all of that. I don't like it fully. I'm going to modify it and say testing a Score App in real time by creating scorecards using the 3 different techniques talked about in the video. Okay. For 1 or more brands to evaluate its effectiveness in lead generation. That sounds good. And who's it for? It's definitely for small business. It's for business owners. Business owners. Might be for marketers. Lead generation. Lead gen, marketers, sales. In my case, it's content creators, but I don't think most people need to worry about it from that point of view. It's definitely my case, and I'm the first customer of everything I do, so I'm going to put that in. So now what we're doing is trying to figure out a video goal and purpose for what we got. Constructing a hands-on test of Scorecard app by creating and evaluating scorecards across distinct industries, demonstrating its impact on lead generation, engagement, and conversion rates. The video will highlight setup efficiency, user experience, and practical outcomes for businesses looking to optimize their marketing strategies. It's not quite what I want. I know that I watched this video really late last night, and I'm not sure whether it was the one that we've got here or the other one. So I feel like the information is a little off. And when I actually do the live stream on this, I'll probably redo this particular plan for that very reason. Okay, target audience is small to mid-sized business owners, digital marketers, sales professionals, and content creators looking to enhance. So we'll just copy this particular information. We're going to paste it there. And now we're going to work out a video goal. So let's put that there. Press copy. I think this is what we want. Press go. And now we're getting a video goal and a concept. Demonstrate the effectiveness. That looks good. The video follows a step-by-step of testing in real world. Yep, okay. So we're going to put that. And we're going to put that. And now we get to the talking points. And it's the talking points, which is my particular take on this. And I think this is a really interesting point that you can go off in various directions. You can have the same video idea, goals, purpose, content, audience, like target audience, all that sort of stuff. But by just changing your talking points a little bit to focus on a particular area, you can totally change the output, the outcome that you want to get from the videos you want to do. So what do I want to do? I want to I basically want to go and rewatch his video so I know how he did it. I want to test it against my brands. That's the main thing I want to do. And there's maybe a couple that really matter. It's Appy Dave, maybe AI TLDR, and winning prompts. And maybe what else? I really should do a pillar content. So I could either do the 555 manifesto, or I can do it against Project Theodore, which are just two concepts. Because when doing if I wanted to build the product Project Theodore, I'm going to need some sort of sales information. If I want to, and that tells me already that I don't need the 555 manifesto because I'm not trying to sell that. It's just an idea. And this one, I don't think I can sell it. I think it's too big for me as an individual person. It's, as I've said earlier, it's a thought experiment, but we'll put it in there anyway. Project Theodore. Yeah. As a way of building email list and sales, we'll just call that. Press copy, we'll paste it in, and we'll get a cleaner version of the talking points, which is going to restructure the way the actual video gets created. So testing Score App with brands, accessing how well Score App engages users and converts them, maybe that's a little bit outside of the scope. Let's just say that. Say out of scope and paste that in. What else we got? These are out of scope. To say them all because there's only so much time I want to spend. I'm only evaluating using the application, not the long term. Oh, what are the analytics of it? That's way too much. So we copy that and we put it into our talking points and we move forward. And from here, we can now review our goal, see if it's correct. So we click on here, we paste it in and we test it out. Modify both the video goal and the concept. So sometimes it only does one, sometimes it does both. To align with the talking points. Justification. The video goal emphasized scorecard across 3 different industries: coaching, SaaS, and e-commerce. Okay, cool. That's not what I want to do. To evaluate on specific brands. Yep. Evaluating it rather than general. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we've got a better goal, which we'll paste in here, and we have a better concept, which we will paste in here, and we'll press copy on that and move over to here and develop a project name. Now the current project name for this one is A15 Dent Score App. Why did that not work? I feel like it has copied the wrong values. It has. So we'll just copy that. Can we just stop? Thank you. Can we just paste? Score App brand test, lead gen, email list builder, Score App sales test, brand scorecard experiment. That would be a good name, right? So I'll just press yes. And so now the conversation knows what the focal project name is, and I could go and change it over on my folder where I'm going to save the videos and where I'm storing the research material. For now, I've just called it A15 Dent Score App. I don't want to change it for myself, but the reason for doing this is to help me automate every aspect. Now, everything you're seeing is human in the loop. There's no automation yet, but one of the goals of this particular tool is export it to tools like Crew AI, LangChain, any sort of automation framework. The other way of using this will be with tools like Operator from ChatGPT, where should just have a conversation with ChatGPT, and it works with this application to solve the problems for you. So there's a few different ways this application could pivot to be more automated than it currently is. Okay, so we can move on to the next live stream that we need to plan. So let's go and click on this, and we'll go and mark it as done, and we'll go concept art storyboarding now. The best way for us to do this, and please remember to go back to the right views. So let's come in here and click on what we're at and look at concept art storyboarding. So what this video is going to be about, I'll just close the tab, is the idea of doing consistent images across different styles in tools like Leonardo AI or Midjourney. Now, I don't like using Midjourney. I have a few reasons on why I don't use it. There should be a video in the link below on the alternatives to Midjourney. But the one that I use the most is Leonardo. It's an amazing piece of software. Now, let's go and figure out, by ensuring that we bring up both screens, and we have, what we are going to do. So we've moved on to concept art storyboarding, and in this particular live stream, I'm going to teach people how to get consistent art across a storyboard. That's the goal. So I think we should just come back here. I haven't copied those project names from before. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I am going to save to the clipboard, make sure that it's been saved in the right location. It has, and then I'm going to refresh. Come back to live streaming and make sure that we are working on, I can't see which project this is. This is 08, concept art storyboarding 08. Okay, initial purpose. Educate content creators on how to get consistent image styling for storyboards out of Leonardo AI or other diffusion-based image generation tools. Now, I do need to, she makes a lot of typos. Educate content creators on how to get consistent image styling for storyboards out of Leonardo AI or image generation tools. Yep, great. What is it? Marketers, content creators, probably artists, I guess. And we'll press copy on this. And I think in this particular case, we're just going to start a new conversation altogether. Do I want to do it into this one? I think I will. I'll do it into this one. We'll paste it right here. We'll minimize this so that we got more visibility about what we're doing. And we're getting a video purpose. This one should be a relatively easy one to do. I know this topic very well, whereas the last two topics you saw me talking about, I don't know them because I haven't done it. I've watched a couple of videos, going to bed. That's about it. So define a video goal, and we'll paste it in. No, that's a purpose. So where are we? Video purpose. Yep. Okay. Provide content creators with a structured approach to achieving consistent image styling for storyboards using Leonardo AI and other diffusion-based image generation tools. Video will cover techniques such as prompt engineering, style conditioning, reference image usage, maybe, and model fine-tuning. Now, that's not quite true, but we'll leave it there. Digital content creators, including marketers, video producers. Yep. So we copy them both, even though I know that there's issues there, because we'll deal with it in the talking points area. Or no, let's do part of it now. I won't actually be doing fine-tuning using models, and I will not be using reference images. Instead, the technique is more about using easy to reproduce style guides. Yeah. Or popular. Popular would be a better word here. So we paste that in. So you can use different tools like design, and you can use images to make new images based off the old image, and you can fine tune. So fine tuning is called LoRa. Forgotten what LoRa stands for, low something adaptive, whatever it stands for. So you could train 20 images of me on a model, and it would then be able to reproduce it. That's not the technique I want to go into. I want to talk about the technique of having images that are all consistent, because the actual style is so simple. The golden age of comics is my go-to one when I'm talking about this, because it's the it's the 1960s sort of comics. Spider-Man, Superman, stuff like that. It's called the golden age of comics. And so when you use these sort of styles, you get very consistent across scenes, and it makes your life easy when this is not an easy problem to solve. So video purpose has been hopefully modified based on what I just said, and target audience has been modified on what I just said, maybe. I'm not sure. Didn't really need to, but... And we will just define the video goal, make sure that we've got a video goal. And let's see, we've got equip content creators with practical techniques for consistent AI generated images, storyboards. Yep, this sounds good. Without complex model fine tuning or reference images. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to say. A step-by-step will introduce popular, easy-to-use style guides, showcase effective prompt writing techniques. That's more what this is about, and explain the AI settings that enhance consistency. Yeah, great. We'll press copy on that, because this is more about prompt engineering than anything else when I do it. Then we move on to the talking points. And what are the talking points? How I get consistent B-roll in intros, outros, and A/B tested YouTube thumbnails. These are the problems that I'm generally trying to solve. Other people will have others. How I get consistent character and scene. It should just say consistency. We'll leave it at that. This will clean it up fine. And the other talking point is simple prompt techniques is all you need. Is all you need. We'll put that in. We'll press copy, and we'll paste this in and let it go. And we should get about 3 sentences, I'm assuming. Yeah. Simple prompt techniques for reliable visuals. Yeah, cool. This is great. And the examples I'll do, because if you ever watch one of my videos on Appy Dave, I've started, like, I don't have it here, but there's a green screen that I put behind me, and I just put those images behind me. My wall and my setup's really boring, and I thought, oh, this would be an interesting way of making this all happen. But I'm also thinking of the stuff that happens for the faceless YouTube channels, and with them, you've got a lot more images to generate. You might have 20, 30, 50 images, and I don't want it to look like, I don't know, some modern future or dystopian future, and then the next image happens to be from Shakespeare, and one is in crayon and one is whatever. I want everything to be consistent. So the reason I'm doing this prompt engineering, plus using other tools like design, I'll put a link down below for that. Actually, it's an affiliate link, but it's an incredible product. The reason I want to do it with prompt engineering is I can automate that. It's so easy to automate stuff if all it's about is using prompt engineering and say Flux 1 to generate the images. Okay, so we've got our talking points that are in better quality. We'll press copy on this and we'll paste it all in. Let's see what's going to come up, and it should give us a new way of thinking about the video goal review. So, and again, I've done something wrong. Really got to get this automated. Okay. Perfect. Talking point 1, consistent B-roll, intros, outros, thumbnails. Yep. Talking point 2, consistent characters and scenes. Yep. Talking point 3, simple prompt techniques for reliable AI-generated visuals. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And hopefully this modified goal and modified concept relay all of that information. So we'll paste it in there, and we'll paste this one in here. And at that point, I'm done. I could literally move on to the script development, and it would use that sort of information and write a script for me. But quite frankly, most of the information should be right. We'll just read it to be sure. While we're doing that, we'll let it look good. We'll let a set of project names come through. The one I've currently got is I mentioned earlier, concept art storyboarding, and the ones it's got: storyboard style guide, diffusion image consistency, AI consistent visuals. Any of these would have been useful. But we've got help content creators create consistent AI visuals for storyboards, B-roll, thumbnails, intros, and outros using Leonardo AI and other diffusion. This video will provide structured, easy to reproduce style guides and prompt techniques to maintain. Cool. That's exactly what I want to talk about in the live stream. A practical tutorial showing content creators how to maintain the consistent visual. Okay. Again, I'm just going to believe it. So, if this, by the way, is an actual video you want to see, if you're dealing with this problem of consistent images, it's a problem that I have had to deal with a lot, and so I kind of know how I do the prompts. If you want to work with me with these sorts of things, just you'll find a link down below that you can contact me directly. We can have one-on-one sessions. Now, with that in place, I'm just going to grab this particular information right here. I'm going to paste in the project name, and I'm going to copy in this information, and I'm going to, why is the debug monitor there? Save it and make sure it is stored away for safekeeping for when I actually do the live stream. And what is the last one that we want to work with? 52 minutes in. We've done 3. I don't know how long they've been taking, maybe about 10 minutes each, maybe a bit longer. And as I said, this is the power of this, is that you can clarify your ideas really quickly and then just go and do the live stream. And you're done. An hour and a half later, you've got a long form video up on the internet. Not polished. We don't have the polish of video editing and all that sort of stuff, but you can then go and turn that into something polished after the fact. Even if you're only doing it to an unlisted private live stream, it can be good that way too. So we come back here and we click on this little button and we say that's done, and we go to Mapify. And this one is also an incredibly interesting problem that I want to solve for myself. So we've got we'll just make sure we've got Mapify. I've got to find it on my list. There it is. It's number 10. Yep. Put that in there. We'll refresh. Come back to live stream planning. Number 10. Initial purpose. Okay. Use an AI tool called Mapify.ai. To reverse engineer the chapters in a YouTube video so that I can easily reconstruct chapter headings in a video. So let me show you what I mean by that, because this is a crappy problem to solve, I tell you. Well, we can look at Daniel's video here. No, he doesn't do it, so he needs this. Maybe he'll employ me. Anyway, okay, this video is a good one. Right, so here we are, we're at Cozy Cafe, and we go to 16 minutes, and I'm going to zoom in for a second. 16 minutes and 43, so we'll just click on this. And
now we've got
we'll hear me talking about the video or add visuals to Canva.
Yes, croissant, which is useful. At that point, we can maybe
we can see
images.
Essentially, we can see the final products by just going to the chapter location. Now, this is what? It's a 20-minute video. So I find that for every minute of video that I've got to go through and do this, I can multiply it by 3. So 20 minutes for me would take me about an hour to write this particular list. And I'm a little pedantic with this. I want to get it right because it doesn't mean much from an SEO point of view, but it does mean a little bit. But it certainly means a lot from a usability and brand consistency. People can come to my videos, and if they don't want to watch the whole thing, if they only want to learn a particular area, they can go straight to it. And because I often get quite technical and deep, I'll tell people, we're going into a deep section, but maybe you want to go ahead. And they can. But it's such a long-winded process to do this, and this is a problem I'm trying to solve. So what we'll do is we'll come back here, and we will get out of again, there's where the character consistencies. We'll come back to here, and we will go down to the Mapify one, which I'd pre-set up with a little bit of information. I'd worked out what it was. It had written this nice document about what it does. And we're not going to demonstrate it because that's for the live stream. We are going to say the initial purpose, and let's make sure we got the right views. Here it is. And this is really only for YouTubers. I don't think anyone else needs chapters. Now, it's not quite because other people would use it. It is definitely for information summaries. Video information summarization. That's what the tool does. I'm only using it for a specific use case, but it has a lot of other capabilities within it. We'll press copy on that, and we'll come down to here, and we'll paste it in and see what we get. And it will write a purpose, demonstrate, extract structured headings. Okay, I'm not going to go deep into this. I'm going to move on, put it in. I'm going to get the audience and put it on, and then I'm going to copy this, paste it in here, and we're just going to come up with the goal and the concept related to this, and we'll put it in. And I think I copied that correctly. We'll check. We'll copy it there, and we'll get the concept. We'll read it at the end, so we'll paste it in here. And lastly, we'll do the talking points. So what will I talk about? I will talk about the challenge of good quality YouTube chapter links in YouTube descriptions. The power of adding chapter links, and evaluation. That's what this. I don't know whether the tool's any good for this, by the way. Evaluation of this versus other techniques I've used, and I've used a few. None of them work. It's like, this is a really hard problem for large language models at the moment to deal with. So we'll press copy. I must admit, I haven't used a dedicated tool. Maybe there are some dedicated tools that solve this problem. Copy. But I've used it in things like Descript and Gling. They're video editors that should be able to do this, and they don't do a good job. But if you are looking for a video editor that you can change your videos using text editing, I highly recommend Gling. Gling is an awesome tool, even though that aspect of it doesn't work so well. It's still the best tool, much better than Descript, I think. Okay, talking points are in play. We'll come over here, video goal review. And so now what we're trying to do is make sure that the video goals that we initially came up with map to the talking points. Yeah. So there is a difference, and we can put that in place. So now when I do a video on, in fact, I'm gonna tell you how I'll do this in a second. Let's just copy the information first. We'll copy it. We'll come over to here, paste it in there, and copy that one, paste it in there. Get a project code for it. The one I currently got is Mapify AI for chapters, which is probably good enough. Yeah, and all of those are the same, so it's okay. We'll just paste that in there, press enter. That's now set as the current project code. But the reason I want to now have a little quick talk about these two values, whatever they happen to be, is coming back to this idea we talked about really early in the piece. So let's also mark this as almost done. Put that there, and we'll talk about these agents. So the other reason, when I'm doing a live stream, and you're listening to the live stream to learn something, but some of the live streams I've been doing have nothing to do with that style of education for people. A lot of them have been done for AI agents that don't yet exist, and especially coding agents. And I'm currently doing a live stream around Kajabi because I've been irritated by it in a few different reasons, and I want to rewrite it. Like, Kajabi is a big, expensive, powerful application, but I think that with a little bit of resourcing, a little bit of energy, and the right AI pair programmer, I could rewrite that application in a week or two. And the way I would go about doing that is having AI agents listen to me do a live stream on talking about Kajabi and introducing concepts like, what do I see on the screen? How do the workflows work? What data is it being collected to go into table databases and stuff like that? And that's why I've brought you back to this area of agents, because the Project Theodore concept is this whole idea that no matter what your business is, we've talked a lot of it around the content creator point of view, but if you're a coder, if you're trying to build documentation like tutorials, if you're trying to cut up your videos, if you're trying to recreate code, you should be able to just talk about what you see on a screen and have AI solve it. Imagine, like, I have a ChatGPT window around diet. I'll see if I can bring it up. Let's just bring it up here. And we go to personal, and we go to this diet that I'm doing, and in it is every emotional piece of crap that I go through, right? So we've got stats, the foods that I'm eating. At some stage in here, down the bottom, there's the my stats medically, like my age, right? So the weight, all this sort of stuff. My cholesterol is high at the moment. Why am I doing this? So the reason I'm doing this is what I want to do is have a doctor on call all the time that can help me. And this is not just like a GP who's helping me with the physicals. It's also like a psychologist helping me with the emotionals. And the good thing about a large language model that's been trained on all the literature of the world is that it can help me in all these areas. And this is where I feel that Project Theodore or concepts like it will become really powerful, because if it's watching your life, it can see the stuff that you can't see. It's this idea that goes, we know what we know. We know the stuff that we don't know. The stuff that really destroys us is the stuff that we don't know, and we didn't know it. I don't know whether I got that phrase fully correct, but this is what I find interesting about this. If AI is observing everything that I'm doing, either personally or in this case professionally, it's going to see a whole lot of stuff that I don't see, and it can take action on it. And that's what this is all about. So as we look at this as just a simple thing where I'm talking about building live streams or planning for live streams, keep in mind that some of these live streams are also about the future of AI. Where is it going? Such as that. I'm waffling. Okay, let's come back to closure. I think we can close out this live stream at this point. So let's head over here. Appy Dave. Web. Is it web or GPT? We go to that one, or we'll move it over here. Great. Cool. So I'm Appy Dave, and what I love doing is some of the things that we've been talking about. It's using ChatGPT, GPT automations, prompt engineering, working with different AI tools. I love ChatGPT in general. I'll use some of the others though, and I'm always exploring. So if you ever want to work with me, I'm going to change some stuff over here so that you can more easily connect with me, but you can connect with me through the website. That's it. Have a wonderful day. Appy Dave, please like and subscribe, connect, do whatever you want. Talk to you later. Let's figure out how to close off this live stream.